Shalom, Akim. This is your Hebrew Israelite brother, Mashama. Listen, I'm bringing to you this video concerning NATO. Okay, concerning NATO, and this is to make you aware of their operations and how they function and their capabilities. Okay, and so just check this out, and we're gonna go right on over to it.
Button navigate. YouTube. Subscriptions. New content is library. Recently added. You attack Nate. Visit advertiser.
Tune up your soil with Sustera fertilizer from the Mosaic Company.
Skip.
Just what is NATO anyway, and why is it such a huge deal? NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is comprised of 30 nations and over 6 million personnel, and the combined forces represent the largest single army, air force, and navy in the world. But with such a wide range of personnel, equipment, training, and not to mention language, how exactly would NATO deploy its forces in the event of an attack? The answer to that question is the NATO Response Force. First developed as a strategy in the early 2000s, the NATO Response Force is the ready unit that could deploy to any member nation within 30 to 45 days of an attack. While this might sound relatively slow, this force of about 40,000 strong soldiers, sailors, and airmen form a self-sufficient military that can conduct virtually any operation. The exact composition of the force varies from year to year depending on the contributions of member states and whether units are tied up in training, since to be a part of the response force, any Army, Air Force, or Naval unit must first undergo national training, followed by 6 months of integrated training with their NATO allies.
Wow.
Showing items 1. Replay video.
Just what is NATO anyway, and why is it such a huge deal? NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is comprised of 30 nations and over 6 million personnel, and the combined forces represent the largest single army, air force, and navy in the world. But with such a wide range of personnel, equipment, training, and not to mention language, how exactly would NATO deploy its forces in the event of an attack? The answer to that question is the NATO Response Force. First developed as a strategy in the early 2000s, the NATO Response Force is the ready unit that could deploy to any member nation within 30 to 45 days of an attack. While this might sound relatively slow, this force of about 40,000 strong soldiers, sailors, and airmen form a self-sufficient military that can conduct virtually any operation. The exact composition of the force varies from year to year depending on the contributions of member states and whether units are tied up in training, since to be a part of the response force, any Army, Air Force, or Naval unit must first undergo national training, followed by 6 months of integrated training with their NATO allies.
Okay, now see,
Showing
now this
items
is the
1 to 8.
beast.
Home.
Okay, this is
Folder
the
closed.
beast.
1 UI
NATO.
home. Voice search.
According to Wikipedia, this first beast is initially mentioned in Revelation chapter 11 verse 7 as coming out of the abyss. His appearance is described in detail in Revelation chapter 13 verses 1 to 10, and some of the mystery behind his appearance is revealed in Revelation chapter 17 verses 7 to 18.
Voice search. All.
Here are your results.
Revelation 17. 5% progress bar. Chrome.
Okay, so
Web
this is
view.
talking about
70%.
the whore
80%.
sits on top of the beast. Okay, this is Revelations chapter 17 verse 1.
Revelation 17:1. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters."
Hold on.
Back button. Google. Voice search button.
Well,
Back button. Navigation bar. 1 UI home. Voice search. Google search. Showing 31 suggestions. Google search. Edit box out of pager. Search where. Back. Keyboard hidden. 1 UI home. Voice search.
Here are your results
All.
for Revelation chapter 17, King James Version.
Let me give me a drink of water right quick.
Internet. Update Samsung Internet. A new version of Samsung Internet is available. Remind me later. Internet. Add to bookmarks. Button.
Oh, wow, boy.
Back.
Boy, Satan is something, ain't it?
Voice search. Button.
And y'all.
Here are your results for Revelation chapter 17, King James Version.
Revelation.
Now you see that? When you trying to reach the word, sometimes Satan be fooling
5%
around
progress bar.
with the
Chrome.
phone system.
Web view. 70%. User notice.
Okay.
17 And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Okay. Let's see. Now we all know the great whore, that being America. Okay. That being America, we know that for sure.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
You see, the other nations being made drunken of the wine of her fornications. Now, let's go back here to 17. I mean to 1. Okay.
17 And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
You see, now the judgment of the great whore. Now we talking about World War III. This is the time when the great whore, being America, is going to receive judgment. That's the time that we're coming upon. That's why you have Russia being stirred up, okay, by who? Yahweh on the left-hand side, being stirred up to do what is prophesied to do. Because all these prophecies must take place, okay? And so the whore that sits on the beast, and we know the beast to be NATO, and we just seen the video concerning NATO and how they are all geared up to do what it needs to do, and having the capabilities to do what it needs to do to infiltrate any particular country. Okay, having the forces to do so, and the capabilities, the manpower was 600 million members. Okay, verse 2.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
You see, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunken of the wine of her fornications. We're talking about the philosophies and the pseudosciences and pseudomaths and all the different lies and deceit and falsehoods of America, the foulness, the wickedness of America. All that's been laid out to the world, and the world has soaked it up and trying to live according to America. Okay, this a system here in America, which is ran by the so-called white man. This being his queendom. Okay, and he has set forth his laws. In place. He doesn't live by the law, statutes, and commandments, by righteous commandments. No, he lives or righteous judgments. If so, then it wouldn't be so many of these alphabet communities, that we have here in the world, okay, and in America, okay. And so, but these things are because wherever you have borders of the so-called white man, then there's the confusion and wickedness, right? Abound. Verse 3.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
You see, these are the things that are about to take place here in America. These are the things that cannot be ignored.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
You see, the great whore, America. And she's filled with much fornication. All that she puts forth is wickedness, that the whole world has come to envy. and admire. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. No, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy not thy oppressors, nor learn none of their ways, for their ways lead to death and destruction. Roughly paraphrasing, Shalakia. You can even take that in the reverse. Proverbs chapter 31 and 3. Lend not thy strength unto a woman, nor to that which destroys kings. Okay. And so what woman we talking about? We took that forward 3:31 and backwards 31:3. And still that's talking about what? A whore. Okay. So verse 5.
Mystery, Babylon and upon her forehead was a name written.
You see?
Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
And the abominations of the earth. Okay? And we, us hopeful elects, we are the men that cry and sigh for the abominations of this world. Because there's much abominations. That's all you have is abomination. Okay? Everywhere you look is an abomination. Transit, teaching the children how to read and problem solve in libraries and schools. I mean, what type of and teaching homosexual ed, teaching the children how to insert a penis into a rectum, into a booty hole. I mean, ask yourself, is that what, as the Christian would say, Jesus? Is that what Jesus would do? Isn't that one of those Jesus moments? Is that what Jesus would do? Right? When Yahweh Shai get here, it's going to be all out slaughter upon these abominations and indoctrinations of these abominations that have caused much iniquity to be abound. You see? And so these things are going to be dealt with.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
You see? That's during the time of the siege when many people, particularly the 2/3, are going to be killed. Some of the elects shall undergo Revelation chapter 2 and 10. Okay, going to the FEMA camps. Some will receive their powers there, re-strengthening there. And some, which would mean Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, and Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. Okay, when the enemy tried to come in like the flood, roughly paraphrasing, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against the enemy. Okay, and so these things are prevalent, and some may be beheaded, as a witness for Yahweh Shai's sake. Okay, and so many may experience Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Yahweh keeping us from the hour of darkness, because we've kept thy patience, the word of thy patience. Okay, and 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Okay, Yahweh making a way out for us, then placing upon us not more than we can bear, that he would make a way out for us so that we would be able to bear. Okay, him making a way out. And so these are the things that we look for Yahweh to shield us. We look for him to set forth, as he has said in his word, that he has done, and shall do more so in the miracles that he shall perform. Okay, and making sure that we have food, water, wine, other sustenance, fruits, vegetables, and different things, shelter, protection, shielding, and different things, and comfort, and being able to laugh at the calamities that the 2/3, the heathens and the Edomites, are going to be going through during the time of the siege, during the time of the hour of darkness. during the time of Yahweh's troubles. Okay, and so let's go to 7.
And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Okay, you see, 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay.
The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is.
You see, and now we know that the bottomless pit is Europe. Okay, we know that, and we know that all the many different things that's coming from over there in that region helps to make up the body of NATO, being the beast over there. Okay, that's their role in the scriptures. They're the beast, and the whore that sits on top. It is America. All the tongues and many nations are the many different peoples and cultures and race groups that are here in America. Okay, so that provide for this great whore called America. Okay, so verse 9.
And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
And 7 mountains mean 7 powers. Okay, 7 powers. And seven governments that she sits upon. Okay,
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
You see, a short space, that's all. Just
and the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition.
You see? And so the time is coming when America is going to be faced with such a great calamity and woe, and we're looking for the MOTB, that being the final prophecy playing out. Once that occurs, I mean, it's going to be almost simultaneously that Yahushua is going to be here, because you have say for instance, like Will Smith, just when he was going to get his trophy, let's just say Will Smith was Esau, and just like when he about to get his trophy, he do something dumb happens, and befuddles him and causes him to drop everything that he was working on and lose it all and fail. Okay. And fail. Well, that's what it's going to be like for Esau. Just at the last moment, just when Esau think he got everybody, he going to get a lot of 2/3, but not the elect. Not the elect. Verse 12.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
You see, United Nations. You see, the United Nations over there. I don't remember them all to name them all, but it's a number of them. French, Belgium, and Italy, and many more of them over there. Verse 13.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
You see, unto the beast. You see, NATO. They all collectively give their powers over to NATO. You see, and so, and what Zelensky over there in Ukraine, what he's talking about, and they're not part of the European Union as of yet, right? So Russia trying to prevent that from happening, period. So Putin is trying to gather itself back, itself back unto its nation, because Ukraine used to be a part of Russia, okay? And so it's trying to gather all itself back up. The Bible says that the nations will gather themselves back up together. And that's what Putin is doing. And Russia is trying to gather itself back up by trying to bring Ukraine back until under Russian control. That's what's happening right now over there. And it's pretty devastating. But ultimately, this is something that's being allowed, that's being done under the strict order of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Verse 14.
these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called, and chosen, and faithful.
You see, and we are the ones that are with him, that's with the Lord, the Mashiach Yahushua, and that is, and that is chosen, and that is faithful. Okay, and called, chosen, and faithful. That is us. Okay, that's us. Okay, when the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and King of Kings, that's Yahushua. Okay, when he comes through here, when the time comes, and just like anything that Yahweh does, he gives warnings of different things first. When he sends the prophets, just like for Lot, he sent prophets to come and be a warning first before, to let everybody know, what's going to happen first. Well, that's the same thing that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has done with us hopeful elects. Use us as his prophets, because that's what we are, Yahweh's prophets and saints and voice and battle axes and things, and ambassadors of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay, and the bride of Yahushua. Okay, and the bride of Yahushua. Okay, and there's a wife to Yahweh. Okay, and so, you understand, and so there's so much in us being chosen before the foundation of this earth. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 4 and 5. Okay, and so there's much to be done here, and prophecies. There's still prophecies that are still waiting to be unfolded. That's what we're looking for.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues.
And see, these are the peoples, the many different nations that are here, different race groups and different things, different cultures that are here in America. Okay, and that the great whore, being America, sits upon. Our work that we do to help to contribute to this country's financial stronghold and basings, our tax dollars allows the U.S. government to have so much money to do whatever they want, plus whatever scandals and schemes in place that's in system that's set to snag the people and to get other monies out of people and different things. All these things are in place, system that the so-called white man put into place, to purposely keep the people oppressed, primarily the minorities, keep the 12 tribes, keep us suppressed, and keep us as slaves, working to support the financial basing and any other status that need to be kept on proper to a proper level, one way or another. It done so on the backs of the 12 tribes. Okay, all everything is done on the backs of the 12 tribes, our people. Okay, and so and the many other different nations that are here in where America, the great whore. Okay, this is upon the beast, which is NATO 16.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
See, that time is coming when all of the European Union, all of the many nations that's involved into that, and NATO itself, they're going to dissolve and side with Russia, and they're all going to attack America. The time is coming because America has proven itself with its democracy, the democracy to be in the way, to be a problem to the other nations. The other nations have not been able to live according to their old customs, ancient customs, because of America and this democracy. Okay, this wicked democracy. Okay, and a system that's draconian. Okay, Roman emperors. Roman Empire, okay, revitalized, okay, a system that's in place that we all living up under, it has caused nothing but a great problem for the people and the whole world. And the rest of the nations are realizing they don't need the American dollar anymore. It's only worth, 3 cents now. So it's about to collapse. They're about to bring in the great reset, digital currency. The federal government already got the digital wallet already set up. Okay, and so once the reset occurs, all bank accounts are going to be wiped clean, and your money is going to be put on a digital wallet from the government. Everybody get a certain amount, each month or so or whatever, and that'll be what you'll spend. Okay, and if you want to be a part of it, you'll play the game and you'll accept the charagma. You'll accept that and play the game. That's if you give in to the beast and the beast system and receive that MOTB. You see, you get that CHIP, then you're done. You're done, son. You hit. You're controlled. You would become a controlled mechanism. Okay, under the powers that be. Okay, and no longer would you be in connection with Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, because your spiritual civil cord will be cut once you take that charagma. You see, because you would have done accepted the MOTB, got that CHIP inserted into your metapon, your metapon. Okay, once you get that inserted into your metapon, your forehead, metapon, is the Greek word for forehead. Once you put that CHIP in your metapon, then it becomes a metaverse. Once that's tuned in, your brain, your mind tuned in to the metaverse, then you are controlled. Everything that you think, your thinking is even controlled. You will no longer be connected with Yahweh. You will belong to Esau, then so-called white man. You belong to the beast and the beast system. You would have done taken the MOTB. And so this is something that a lot of people are going to come into understanding about when it's too late. But those are the ones that are numbered. Isaiah chapter 65 verse 12, they're numbered to the sword. Therefore I shall number ye to the sword, and ye shall bow down to the slaughter. Okay? Verse 17.
For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
You see? They're willing to give their kingdom on over to the beast until the time of the Lord has been fulfilled. Okay? Until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Okay? Okay, verse 18.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
You see? You see that great city. Okay? The time has come. Okay, America is reached its time. The great whore is about to receive a straight up judgment. Is evident that the prophecies are playing out. This one last prophecy, the MOTB, once this happens, once this occurs, then only thing that the people can do then is look forward to judgment. Look forward to judgment, lamentation, mourning, and woe. Judgment, lamentation, mourning, and woe. That's about it. That's all they can look forward to. Because the Lord said, if I would have not come, Yahushua, he said, if I would have not come, if I would have not spoken, they will have not sinned. Now that I have come, now that I have spoken, now they no longer have any cloaking for their sins. You see, every stone should go unturned. Okay, every stone should go unturned. Every stone, there's no stone that should go. There's no stone that shall not go unturned. That's what I meant to say. Slakia. Okay. There is no stone that shall not go unturned. Okay. There is no stone that shall not go unturned. Okay. Every stone should be unturned and that it should be revealed. Okay. All these things. Okay. And so it's time to wake up.
Recents. Button. Navigate.
It's time to wake
One
up
UI.
and realize it's time to get proper. Time to make your mind up.
As screen showing
What you
items
gonna
5
do?
to 7 of 8. As screen recorder. Open drawer. Button.
What
Out
you
of
gonna
list.
do?
Record. Button.
So this is your Hebrew Israelite brother Mashaba here in the city of Detroit. We'd like to give all honor and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Okay, and double honor to the apostles and elders at the great millstone that taught us this truth. And also peace and salutations and blessings into the hopeful elects and to you Akims and Akims that's out there waiting in the rings, waiting in the wings. You are eating this roll, Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 3, and you're waiting on your opportunity to Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Get out there and warn our people, the 2/3, let them know if they're wrong. Let them know that they need to repent to the Mashiach Yahushua and come on over to this path of righteousness. So and by doing so, their blood is not on your hands. You've warned your brother. You've warned your sister. So they will know. And so, and every man must be persuaded in his own mind and work out his own salvation with the Lord. Because this is a tight rope walk with the Lord. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay. And and it's fire on one side and water on the other. You can be burnt up or you can drown. You got to stay on the straight and narrow. The thing that holds you up and keeps you going and keeps you strong is just wisdom and knowledge. Okay? Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, the Mashiach Yahushua, is his treasure. Until we meet each other again, until we see each other again, press the like and subscribe buttons if you like the spiritual edification that you're receiving. The water, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakodash. Shalom to the hopeful elects.